Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
Happy Monday morning and welcome to Highland Park Highlights. My name is Rod Liggins. It's just a little after 8 o'clock and it's 27 degrees outside. So it's far from the warm weather we had last week. So you may want to bundle up. I'm hearing we may even have snow later today or tonight. Some quick news headlines. First of all, we want to let you know that now that President Biden has signed the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, those stimulus checks of up to $1,400 should be going out sometime this week. For those with children, additional funds will be made available. The jury selection in the Derek Chauvin murder trial resumes this week. As you know, former Minneapolis police officer Chauvin has been charged with several counts, including murder in the first, second, and third degree, and the fatal kneeling on the neck of George Floyd. His family members have celebrated the one-year anniversary of his death, and the jury is expected to be fully seated sometime this week. Highland Park residents, Highland Park seniors that is, who received their first COVID-19 vaccine shot are asked to come back out on tomorrow, Tuesday, March 16th, and Wednesday, March 17th. You will need to make an appointment for your second dose. We're also asking that all residents who are able to find a way to get themselves vaccinated so that we can flatten the curve for the COVID-19 virus. For residents who need more information, you'll have to make an appointment. The seniors who have their first shot, you'll have to make an appointment to return to the rec center on Pitkin Avenue. That number is 313-590-0470, or you can call 313-688-5180. And transportation will be provided by the Detroit Area Agency on Aging. Also, for those looking to do some home repairs, there are some new funds that have been made available. CDBG dollars are available for home repairs for Highland Park residents. Now, if you don't know, CDBG stands for Community Development Block Grants, and these are federal dollars that are used to help those who need to improve their homes and may not be able to afford the full cost. What you would need to do is go to the city's website at highlandparkmi.gov. You would click on Community and Development, and then you would click on Forms and Applications, select the CDBG application, and fill it out and return it to Highland Park City Hall. If you have questions regarding this application, please call the real estate department, and that number is 313-252-0050, extension 234. That number again is 313-252-0050, extension 234. For the sports fans, you may have heard that both Michigan and Michigan State have made it into the NCAA Big Dance. They're going to be playing for the national title, and the games start this week, and Michigan starts their play this weekend on Saturday. In music news, Beyonce has become the most awarded Grammy artist, earning her 28th Grammy last night during the awards. And in stunning fashion, Beyonce's young daughter, Blue Ivy, may have become one of or the youngest Grammy Award winner in the Grammys history. Other winners include John Legend, Taylor Swift, Megan Thee Stallion, and Nas, the rapper. I believe he's won his first Grammy Award. And Tiffany Haddish, comedian Tiffany Haddish, has won her first Grammy, and this is the first time since Whoopi Goldberg that an African-American woman has won this award. So coming up after the break, we'll have our first guest, which is a member of the Highland Park City Council, talking about Highland Park's past, Highland Park's future, and we're going to look forward to Highland Park's present. So stay tuned, join us, we'll be right back.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabree, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
Hi, this is LaWanda.
This is R.J. Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you. Because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
I'm Attorney Carl Collins III. I'm Attorney Carl Collins III. Hello, I'm Attorney Carl Collins III. If you've been injured and you need help, make the best call on your worst day. Call me at 855-CAR-HIT-YOU. That's 855-CAR-HIT-YOU.
If you need a car today, used credit, bruised credit, or in need of a financial miracle, my name is Mr. Green, the Financing King. Got a small down payment and proof of income. You can drive away today in a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Call me, Mr. Green, 313-350-4188. I have over 35 years of experience and an unlimited selection of reliable, certified vehicles. Call Mr. Green, the Financing King, 313-350-4188.
Welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. Again, my name is Rod Liggins. It's just 10 after 8, and we're looking at about 27 degrees. I'm glad this morning to introduce our guest, who is a Highland Park City Council member, DeBlon Jackson. Ms. Jackson, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
I want to thank you for coming out this morning on this cold morning and joining me. We want to talk about Highland Park, and as the title of the show, Highland Park Highlights, stipulates, we want to talk about things that's related to the city and how the city was, how the city is, and some vision for what we can expect in the future. So if you don't mind, could you briefly tell us about yourself and then what your memories are of the city of Highland Park?
For sure. Basically, I'm DeBlon Jackson. And when we first moved to Highland Park back in the 60s, it was not that many black people in the city of Highland Park, but it was just really becoming to be a lot of black folk. But there was a lot of different other type of people. There were Africans, Arabs. We had Arab eateries as well as all kinds of other places. I remember the Red Barn. I don't know how many people remember that. That was right up there, actually right across from where Wendy's is at the station there where they do the oil. And at the big Red Barn, that was the place where we went to get these big old fat hamburgers. Now, I do remember the big fat hamburgers. I don't know if anybody else remember those hamburgers, but I can remember at a time, my dad didn't want my mom to cook, so he brought home these big old hamburgers, you know. So, and of course, my mother being the home cook that she was, she never liked store-bought food. And she was just arguing. I can remember I don't remember the exact argument, but she didn't want those hamburgers because she had her greens and cornbread. He said, well, this is the meat. So that's what we had, some hamburgers with some greens and cornbread. She had cooked a pot of beans, and that's the way it was. So we didn't eat out often. Also, I remember we had a lot of, I don't know if a lot of times, you know, you had to be home before the street lamps were out. I mean, that was just standard. You would, if you knew when it was getting dark. If you were 3 blocks away, you better get to running because your behind would be set on fire. So
that was it.
So it's a lot of fond memories. But the most memory I have a lot of memories of Highland Park, but the ones that stick with me really are a lot of the music things that we did and the activities. I can remember one day, my dad, I think it was Janet Spite's mom, and Mrs. Jones, and they were all the band parent members because we had a band parent organization that was out of sight. They raised so much money and sold so much barbecue and did whatever they did to get us going to all these different places that we traveled, all over Michigan, Ohio, and Dallas, and all kinds of places. In fact, when I was in high school, we marched in the Macy's parade. And during that march, there was a movie being recorded, and the Highland Park Band was in this movie, whether people remember it or not. I think it was called Miracle on 34th Street, and you see this band marching down, and all you see this drum major, and then you see on the front line, you saw a couple of trombone players. One was, I think it was Perry Paul, and John Davis. He was the head of the drummers. He was playing snare drum, and Mr. Burris. And he was, they both were our snare drummers. Then we had our bass drummer, tenor drummers. But at that time when we did that back in the day, I think we were 100 and something band members strong, I believe. We had Derek Harge on tuba. He was the head of the section there for the tubists and the baritonists. And we also had a lot of trombonists and saxophone players. Janet Spite, played the clarinet. And her twin sister played as well. She played the flute. And we just had a marvelous time. And our parents supported us. That was so great. Because at times, what was really hilarious is there was a strike. So our band parents locked the school board up at 20 Bartlett. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
The band parents had their cars literally parked up to the doors and would not let anybody out. So when I go back to these memories, but they're good memories. Our parents loved us and they wanted the best for our education. So they locked them in and they wouldn't let anything out. The only thing they let in and out of that door was some food. And I believe it was liquor disguised as pop or something in a big bag. That's all we remember as
locked
kids.
In. You might as well have something to drink. That's
the only thing they would lock the people up in. So it was really funny and hilarious. Now that I think about it, but as a child, we didn't know that those brown paper bags were liquor. We had no idea that they were passing that back and forth.
So tell me then, as a resident of this city, what drove you to run for office?
Well, what really drove me to run for office, I was concerned about the water. My mom had gotten a huge water bill that I thought was really crazy, and so did a lot of other people. And so my concern into finding out, which I'm finding out a lot of things about that, prompted me to run. And it's purely because I love my city and I know that things can be better. Because coming up, we had a wonderful city and I can see the future of it. It's like an ABA format. Like when I write a piece of music or something, I'll write the beginning, I'll write the middle, and the end is sort of turned out like the beginning with a few little synapses here and there. And I feel that way about this city. And I want to see it grow from all aspects, may it be business and prosperity. And it can happen, even though it's a small city. And the thing that I loved about it is that we had our own water. And we had everything, our own infrastructure, our own water. So, and even now, we do have our own set of legislation. We have our city council and we have our mayor. And I would love to see that continue in the future. But I know there are some things that we have to work on and that we have to do as a city. And I can see that being moved forward like that. And I'm enjoying being a part of the reason that our city is progressing.
Okay. When you spoke about your memories in the band and in high school, this city currently does not have a high school.
Yes, and that's a worry in a way, because we have young scholars that are very talented young people, and they have to leave our community. So that's dollars lost out of our community going elsewhere. They're not going to our situation.
Right.
So what we need to do is have a strong group of people who are like-minded, who are interested in our young people progressing forward and staying here in Highland Park and building up our city to have a elementary K through 12 situation going on. But I know I've worked in many districts myself as a retired school personnel with Highland Park in Detroit. It takes time to do that, but it has to be consistent time. And it can happen. I really have faith that we can get that done with a lot of help. But it's going to take city as well as community help, I believe. But with that, I think it's a positive.
Okay. Well, Council Member, we're going to take a quick break right now. We want to ask our listeners and viewers to stay tuned. We'll have more with Council Member Jackson about the history and the current status of Highland Park and take a look at its future. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends, that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at TV33WHPR.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only. WHPR TV is now on Channel 90. Check out all of your favorite morning talk shows on Comcast Channel 90 every day from 7 a.m. to 12 noon, and watch us anytime, day or night, on all of your favorite devices. Download the WHPR TV Now app and take us with you wherever you go. WHPR TV is now on Comcast Channel 90 every day from 7 a.m. till noon. WHPR TV, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.
If you need a car today, use credit, bruise credit, or in need of a financial miracle, my name is Mr. Green, the Financing King. Got a small down payment and proof of income. You can drive away today in a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Call me, Mr. Green, 313-350-4188. I have over 35 years of experience and an unlimited selection of reliable, certified vehicles. Call Mr. Green, the financing king, 313-350-4188.
Hi, this is Lawanda.
This is RJ Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you. Because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
Shelley Books and More. Short stories, poetry, and art contests for the youth. Cash prizes, $300 to $500 plus prizes. No entry fee. Go to ShelleyBooksandMore.com. Contact Shelley at 313-778-8009. Submit entries now and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Shelley Books and More. Also, listen to Shelley Books and More every other Tuesday, 4 p.m. on FM 88.1 WHPR, Radio We Can See.
Good morning and welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. I'm your host, Rod Liggins. It's 8:21 on Monday, March 15th. And joining me once again is council member from Highland Park, DeBlon Jackson. And you brought up a few memories during the break and even during the first segment. And I wanted to focus more on that. When you see things in the city now as it relates to youth, what are some of the memories that you remember that would be a great asset to have back for the children of Highland Park?
Oh, I can think of a lot of things. For one thing, many of the children are not getting enough physical activity. But I say a lot of adults aren't either. But I think what helps to promulgate that, if the adults would enhance their children through some form of exercise or healthy choices. Exercise is very important, and it's important for all of us. I think an initiative, a lot of kids, they sit down and they do the game thing, which I'm getting better at my game thing, but I have some kids trying to teach me how to use those consoles and sit in that chair and whatnot. But that could be a detriment in a way, because I noticed they were saying that on the news that people have gained an average of 20 pounds or more since the pandemic. So I think back in the day when we were never in the house sitting down, we were always had activities. Oftentimes, my dad loved baseball, so he would gather us up and he would take us we had a little baseball field, and take us all to play baseball when we were growing up, our friends and stuff. And so that helped our moms to get the kids out of their hair, so to speak, if you will. But now I'm not seeing a lot of people or fathers or gathering or mothers taking interest in that manner how it was back then. Even although you could do it now, but it's a little, now everybody has cars and we have the fear of it. You walk in the street, you might get run down. But back in the day, we didn't have to do that. We played touch football in the street. One family would get started, and then the other dads and their family, it would be families against family. We just having fun in the street. And on certain days, our parents would, it's really weird. They don't do that now, but all of a sudden I had a gentleman live next door to me, Mr. Garrett. And next thing I know, on Saturdays, he would pull out his grill, and next thing I know, everybody else had the grills out. We made our own holidays. Definitely. We pulled those grills out, and then my mama would make her famous Kool-Aid, and then another parent would do something, and then, of course, there was Mrs. Alma Park, she was an actor who taught acting all over Detroit and traveled and did that. Her daughter lives in the house across the street from me today. She would make little costumes for us. And as mom, dad, or whoever was pulling out the grills in the block club, we would have our display and our artistic things going on. Like I would be in a play, and she would, Mrs. Parks would make our little costumes. And then we thought we were jazz musicians, so we decided to bring our instruments out. We were 9 years old. We're going to play us some jazz. So we pulled those instruments out, and she had us all decked out, and we said our little lines, and we had some other kids on the street. I think Michael Schley was trying to be, I forgot who was that artist back in the day. Well, anyway, we had all kind of artists. We had Diana Ross showed up. One of the kids dressed up as Diana Ross. We had the Beach Boys. Yeah, the Slaves were the Beach Boys because they were our German counterparts, but they loved the Beach Boys and all that sort of thing.
Well, what do you see as a way, because that's not something that's city orientated or city dominated or city run. That's more of the community. That's that neighbor and neighborhood. How can we find our way back to those types of activities in the neighborhood, like you said, right there on the block?
You know, the main focus long time ago when we really learned and did all kinds of projects was at that library.
Okay.
So a lot of our neighborhood focus was an extension of what we did at the library. In fact, when I was 9, there was Joseph Striplin, who still is in the orchestra, the SO, and about to retire, I believe. So you could imagine how old he is now. But he had us playing all kinds of concert music. And we just had so much community involvement, which is what we don't have. It would be nice to create those opportunities again, to give children a chance to understand, and parents, because they had things at the library, McGregor Library, that is. They had programs and things for crocheting, all kinds of community stuff, just like they do now in, I believe, Birmingham and another place. There's a couple of places out in Troy at their library or community center is what they call it. And they have those types of programs. And that's basically what the library did. It caused the community to come together, which is what the recreation center is sort of taking that part. But the library was special. That beautiful auditorium there had places you could go. In fact, I don't know if anybody remembers Teddy Harris and Marcus Belgraves and Gay Lynn's dad. I don't know, Gay Lynn McKinney is a drummer, and her father, Hal McKinney, was a pianist. So we've had the best of jazz in Highland Park, and we've had the best of artists in Highland Park. We had a lot of young artists that have gone worldwide. And in fact, Safel and Marion Hayden, Safel Gardner, who is an artist here in Highland Park right now, who we've always had these type of people in programs, but we've never had it. Right now, we don't have it to the point where the children can benefit from these types of things.
So that's the part I wanted to focus on. Like I said, last night they had the Grammy Awards. They had it. It was much more different than years past because of the pandemic. But you saw all these different artists. Some I recognize, some don't, because I don't listen to everything, and even if I hear it, I don't know. Oh, that's that person. But to find that next, like you were saying, for you, Diana Ross, and to find the next John Legend, to find the next person that's funny and can tell jokes and make people laugh, to find that next musician that may never sing a note but can play it on the flute, the trumpet, the sax. What can the city do? What can the neighbors do? I mean, even just getting back to what we were speaking about before, the community engagement, getting to know your neighbors. How do we restart that in Highland Park?
Well, I'm not exactly sure myself, but firstly, we have to have a willingness of people to want to see Highland Park move forward. And I think there's a lot of people that like that aspect. Excuse me. And the only thing that we could do as a people is try to think in our minds, what would we like to see start first? And maybe just start a little bit at a time. Like, for instance, maybe we could start at the recreation center, teaching different things, like Sue has classes there for kids if they're having a problem with their homework. We start small like that. And just doing basic activities. We would do things like, if we had neighbors, we would help do a cleanup.
Okay.
Either on both sides of where you live. We did those, like if the neighbor couldn't do it, my mom had 6 kids, so 2 of us would go over there and help our neighbor.
Okay.
So she would send 2 of her kids either across the street, like Miss Lewis and them, they lived across the street at 154. So that house is in disrepair right now. But that's how we did it. we knew our neighbors were elderly, we had the charge of trying to help. It wasn't about getting paid or anything, because oftentimes our neighbors was always giving us things. It may not be money, but you can't. Nobody can give you what you can't get is love. Love is more than money. That means that you're helping and you're getting a compliment. But not only that, the person that's receiving, both of you are engaging and receiving love on both ends. Even though one is giving back. So it's
and that was the thing that I remember. There was a lady. She had children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, but they were all out of the house. But if you did something for her and like picked up something, ran to the store for her, picked up something for her, cut the grass, just like you were saying, it was never money because we were told not to take it even if she offered it. So she would go and just stock her freezer with popsicles.
Oh yeah.
And just even during the summer, that was the best. Now your mom could have all of them in the house for you, but it was something about Big Mama down the street who gave you that popsicle, or those kind you had the little plastic you just pushed up and some with the stick. And my brother used to like those orange push-up things with the orange and vanilla swirl. But I know there are also a lot of things that takes money, and we know that the city's finances are still under what they call receivership. I want to talk to you, and I don't know how much you've had to look into it for Highland Park, but I know that several years ago, voters approved recreational marijuana. Detroit, they just approved their ordinance. You know, their plan was to do it far much earlier, but again, the pandemic pushed that away. I want to first ask you, what are your thoughts about it as it relates to an income generator for the city, or do you think that's something that maybe the city should not even focus on?
Well, I can say that all income considerations for the city is not equal. And I'm not sure exactly how much the funding could be for marijuana or how much can come back to the city. But I do know this, and I know this from various things that's going on in Detroit, and that is that sometimes there's a lot of activity happening around it. Like, if the regulations, it would be good for them to be able to take those dollars and monies and put them in a bank. And I'm not sure about that regulation because that could cause an element of someone or criminals thinking that, okay, this building has all this money in it. Because they keep saying on the news how much it's worth and this and that. I think if they didn't have to get that like that, instead of having everything in cash, that it could be just like every other industry. I think that's the major problem with it. And I think that would put it, what I think I'm not sure about it, but on a federal type level. Like, for instance, when you pay your bills, you could pay your bills with a credit card or a check or whatever. But marijuana is not, what is it? I don't know the proper words, but you have to, everything is a cash situation, a cash business. So I'm not sure how you would keep track of that, or how they keep track of that, or how it just seems like it could be a problem in that manner. And if you are involved in the business, how do you get credit? I mean, everything is cash. That's the part I don't really understand.
Right.
But I do know this, that people will watch you and they will look at you where you put your cash.
Definitely.
So I think that's the part that sort of I'm startled by, because I don't understand the process.
Okay.
Possibly.
So right now we're going to take another break, and we want you to stay tuned for Highland Park Highlights, and we'll continue our conversation with the council member. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabree, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
Hi, excuse me, do you have anything for paying?
Straight down that aisle.
All right, thank you.
Young lady, this here's what you need.
Ringmaster?
Ringmaster rubbing oil.
How does it work?
By promoting circulation since 1950. Massage it in for best results.
Ringmaster took care of my back pain.
Ringmaster got rid of my knee pain too. Wow, it sounds like I'm late to the party. I'll take one.
Find Ringmaster at CVS, Davis Drugs, and other fine stores.
We at Watkins Broadcasting care about the health and safety of our viewers and listeners. During this novel coronavirus pandemic, please protect yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze into your sleeve. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others when in public and only leave the house when it's essential. Stay safe. You are important to us.
Good morning and welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. Again, my name is Rod Liggins. I'm joined with Highland Park City Council member Deblon Jackson. And Ms. Jackson, I wanted to ask you, what are some of the things, when you ran, you spoke about what led you to run for office, the high water bill your mom received as well as your neighbors. Moving forward, what is some of the things that you would like to see that you are working towards for the future of Highland Park?
Well, first of all, I would like to see the whole area just totally cleaned up. I mean, from whatever the boundaries are, District 1, 2, and 3, to 6 Mile, to the Lodge, to Oakland. Just a real new, refreshed resurfacing of our community. Because it's such a small community, our community can look just like any other that's small, Birmingham or Bloomfield. Our streets can look the same. We can have various designs that we need to make our community look better. And the first thing is a nice cleanup. And the next thing would be a good decoration with beautiful plants, flowers. That's just banners possibly, just to make our area look good. But by all means, since the ordinance was passed, some of the landowners of some of these properties, they need to clean up a little bit, I think. And that'll make our city just to clean. It's just like if you clean your house. If you get that broom and start moving that thing around, your house is going to look wonderful. Then add a few other good smells and this and that, or plants or whatever around your house. You're going to have a clean house. But to have it keep going year after year in this manner, and I know there's some problems with dumping in other places. But I can remember times when a lot of neighbors would help. We had a lot of men in the neighborhood who were genuinely interested in having their children to be in a clean neighborhood. So they would get their whatever they needed, machinery, cut down bushes in the back and the front and around the house, and others' houses. We have to start with being clean first. And once we have the appearance of that, then people look at us differently. Because some places that I look, it's just not a good look. And I realize it does take a lot of money and other things in order to get that clean look, that nice, well-groomed type look that we used to have coming up. I look forward to that again, and I know it can happen.
Now, is that something, because I've seen, and like I said, growing up, I remember there was the different types of spirit in the community. And that was, like you just said, there were times we had street sweepers, but me, my three brothers, we had to sweep that gutter off the curb, whether the street sweepers came through or not. You know, there had times when, okay, you can't park on the street, move your cars. But our parents, they made a point for us to do that. And then, like I said, the next door. And what I found was growing up as I got older, when you started seeing just maybe one or two houses working to keep up their property, it's like a ripple when you drop a pebble into the water. Your neighbors start to say, you know what, like you said, let me trim up these bushes. Let me remove this dead brush and put in, growth of the flowers. Now, I call myself the lazy guy with the green thumb. I put out perennials because that way they come back every year. My mom, she used to love to plant every year. We would go down to Eastern Market and other places, and I've been out here in Highland Park, and you would buy floral arrangements and put them out. But I was just like, man, there's got to be a better way to spend my summer, because she made sure that we planted those every year. And they look good once they came to full bloom. But the thing is, and this is not just residential, like I said, it's commercial as well. I mean, when you go up and down, the largest corridor here is Woodward, and you see the businesses that are, like you said, well kept. Their parking lot is clean. If there's snow, it's shoveled. It's not blocking the sidewalk. Is there something that can be a coordinated effort where, working with the city, can there be a day or days where neighbors are asked to come out and, like you said, beautify, and then the city in turn can come out and make a bulk pickup of things, like you said, of dead brush and the removal of dead or dying trees, and just coordinating with an overall beautification of neighborhoods?
Yeah, that can happen. In fact, they've done that, I remember, once or twice when they've cleared the alleys, which I'm very impressed with. I can see down the alleys now. Whereas before, all you saw was different debris and you couldn't see. And I think we can continue that. And if we do, maybe there could be I was thinking about a Highland Park cleanup day where all the districts possibly get together and beautify, and someone can coordinate each district. I would like to do that in my district to help beautify. I know a lot of people say, well, we got our block clubs to do that, but we have to look at the city as a whole. A block club is maybe one block.
Exactly.
But what about the other blocks outside of the one or two blocks that are doing it? We have to figure out a way to make a better presentation for our Highland Park city. And with the help of everybody or a few more people, it can all happen. Maybe it might take a week. Maybe we might have to, folks that cut down trees or whatnot in their backyards, maybe we might have to haul it to the front.
Right.
Or back in the day, the big trucks would come up the alleys and get all the debris. And it can happen right around here too, again, so that we can have a beautiful neighborhood that's well kept.
And even if it's done in a way where it's staggered, you know, you have this district has this day or this weekend, the next district, and so on. These are some of the things that can maybe be structured where there is that type of community engagement, because we're living through right now a pandemic that has spread globally.
Right.
And we know that for those of us that have been around, that same energy that you use in your community and in your neighborhood, that can spread just as fast. And it is not deadly, it's not dangerous. It also gives you that pride. That was the thing that we knew when we cut that grass. You know, the first thing kids want to do, they want to play football on it. They're riding their bikes and they come off the sidewalk and get up on. We made sure nobody was on our grass. You stayed off Big Mama's grass and Miss Ferguson across the street, because we cut hers as well as Mr. Cook. So you tend to start even looking out for your own neighborhood. And I'm just thinking that will be a great thing to restart. And if there are block clubs, they can be the catalyst. They can say, okay, here's what we do. Here's what you can do, like you said, on the next block.
Right.
3 blocks down.
In fact, on California, there is a gentleman that cuts everybody's grass over there.
Wow.
Mr. Carter. And Mr. Carter been cutting the elderly's grass for I don't know how many years. About 6 a week, he'll cut their grass or rake their lawn or do their snow.
Okay, well, I'm asking you on here right now that before the week is out, please get me in touch with this gentleman, because that's what a Highland Park Highlight is all about. Because we can celebrate folks that do that and encourage others to take that on, because that's not an easy task.
No, it's not.
I still get tired just cutting my own grass or helping. I helped a couple of folks shovel their snow, and I was, so but I felt good about it because it still gave me that neighbor aspect to it, not just, them people next door or the folks down the street. You become neighbors because you're being neighborly.
Right.
And that's the thing that I would love to highlight and stress. And as we move forward, let's get to, because I want to get back to the young people. A lot of times we speak as if it's an adult city, but we have young people here from, like I said, K through 12 age, even though there's not a high school. The rec center, we talked about that. You talked about how we need to get kids more active. How do we go about getting them and encouraging their parents to get them to the rec center?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of issues with parents, meaning the job issue is the big one. And a lot of them probably have lost really good paying jobs due to this pandemic. But then there's a lot of other up and coming jobs. So the first thing we're going to have to do is see how a lot of people are dealing with their situation, because every situation is different. And every parent has, I don't know if they have goals or other things that they want their children to do. I'm not exactly sure how to get them out of the houses, because, like I said, with this gaming industry, and you sit in that console chair, and you got it,
And I've seen it, and I've walked in, and I've got family that do that. And I remember walking into my nephew's room. He's in college now.
Yeah.
But I would walk in, and I said, "Hey, how's it going?" "Hey, Uncle." I said, "Hey, so how was it?" "Good."
Yeah.
And I could do this, and he's doing this, trying to get around my hand because he's so laser focused. And what I tell people is that can be a blessing and a detriment depending on how it is.
Yeah.
Because they had to, I remember the lady, she told me she walked in her son's room, he was just jumping up and down playing. And she said, "Boy, you're really getting into that game, aren't you?" He said, "No, I got to go to the bathroom, but I want to get off this level first."
Oh.
She went behind that TV, snatched that plug out the wall, snatched that thing up. They said, "You need to go to the bathroom. You need to go outside, because this is now, it's taking over."
Yeah.
Where you don't even want to relieve yourself. And that was where it got to excessive things. But we were like that with sports. We were like that with bike riding. We were like that. I asked the kids, I said, "Do you guys ever do relay races?" And they looked like, some didn't even know what it was. They said, "You mean like on track and field?" I said, "No, we didn't have batons. And you just hit that person's hand and you ran. And then the person hit that person's hand and they went back and forth until it was over." These are just some of the things that are basic. We're not talking about you're breaking the bank. Like I said, a basketball can entertain both boys and girls of all ages. A baseball and a bat, where you're going to need something with bases, you're going to need gloves and things. But I'm thinking those are some things that as parents and as adults we can invest in, even if you're not a parent, but you're ensuring that kids are being active. And like you were saying before, the biggest way to me to get kids active is if the parents are active.
Right. And another thing too, you got to remember, I remember as an educator coming up in high school, when I was in Highland Park High School, when we had all our buildings, as far as the junior high and the elementary, there was Willard, Liberty, you had, a couple of Ferris, you have Barber, of course you had Ford, then you had the high school. Well, at that time, we all had gym teachers. And they showed us how to do the sports, and we had to play or you get an F. So that was another thing too. And after a while, they stopped getting sports every day. And we had nutrition class. We had Miss Walker, who taught everybody how to sew and how to cook. When you left high school, you knew one thing. You knew how to boil water.
Hello.
You knew how to fry an egg. you knew how to fry some chicken, and she taught a lot of us how to cook greens and make cornbread, so that you can and other little dishes, and how to read a recipe, because there's a lot of people that don't know how to read a recipe.
Oh yeah, I had that personally. A young man I was mentoring, he made brownies, and he said, "I want you to try some." I happened to be over at the house. I said, "Okay." So he was outside playing. I think I was on the phone or doing something, and I smelled the brownies, but I'm thinking that's a lot of time that's going in that oven. And so I opened the door, and it's bubbly.
Bubbly?
Yes.
Oh.
So I called the young man in.
Sounds like a science project.
This is what it looked like. So I asked him, I said, "What did you do?" He said, "I followed the recipe." I said, "Tell me what you did." He said, "I put in the mix." He said, "I put in the cup of milk, and I put 3 or 4 cups of oil in there."
Ooh.
He took 3/4, meaning you either put 3 cups
or 4
cups. He put in 4 cups of oil
in the brownies,
and that's why it never congealed. It was just boiling in the oven, and I had to let him know. I said no, so I had to say, "You know what? Let me get back with you." And we had a cooking segment, because see, I grew up. My father at one time was a cook in a diner they owned, and my mom, like you said, from the South, she was going to make sure. She had 4 sons. She said, "You're not going to be kept men. You're going to know how to clean. You're going to know how to sew. You're going to know." I remember a friend of mine, he bought his wife this washer machine and could not operate it.
Oh.
And he said it was gum. And he hadn't put in the right. He put in 2 and 3 cups of detergent. Well, he said since he had a stain on his jeans, let me put some bleach in there.
Ooh.
So it was just not. I said, nobody. He said, "No, I just thought you put the stuff in and da-da-da." So this is what I'm saying about the basics, is what I would love to see young people break out and do, because that's going to be a big deal. I want to make sure we get our last break in, but I want you to stay tuned, because we're going to talk about some other things that Highland Park can look forward to in the near future. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Shelley Books and More. Short stories, poetry, and art contests for the youth. Cash prizes, $300 to $500 plus prizes. No entry fee. Go to ShelleyBooksandMore.com. Contact Shelley at 313-778-8009. Submit entries now and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Shelley Books and More. Also, listen to Shelley Books and More every other Tuesday, 4 p.m. on FM 88.1 WHPR. Radio we can see.
I'm joined today by Maureen Taylor and Louis Pisker to let you know about a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Do you know someone, family or friends, that need help with finances? Do you know people having trouble making ends meet, especially with property taxes or other payments? The Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help. Treasurer Sabri invites you to visit the new Financial Empowerment Center, 400 Monroe, on the 5th floor in downtown Detroit.
We've partnered with the Wayne County Treasurer's Office and the City of Detroit to provide free one-on-one financial counseling to help you address problems related to utility bills, property or income taxes, credit repair, and other financial matters. Our professional counselors can also help you plan your monthly budget and increase your credit score.
This service is available to all Wayne County residents. For free and private financial counseling, contact the center at 313-322-6222 and make an appointment today.
If you need a car today, use credit, bruise credit, or in need of a financial miracle, my name is Mr. Green, the Financing King. Got a small down payment and proof of income. You can drive away today in a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Call me, Mr. Green, 313-350-4188. I have over 35 years of experience and an unlimited selection of reliable, certified vehicles. Call Mr. Green, the Financing King, 313-350-4188.
Watch Anthony Adams. We Detroit. We deserve better. Live on Mondays from 11 a.m. to noon on WHPR TV 33 Detroit. And live stream on Facebook. We Detroit. We deserve better.
Welcome back to Highland Park Highlights. Again, my name is Rod Liggins, and I'm joined by City Council Member DeBlon Jackson. As we wrap up the show, can you tell us just what are some of the things that you would like to see happen with the adults and the youth in this city as we move forward through the rest of this year and beyond?
I think everybody should come from a standpoint of health, think about their health, teach their children how to make healthy choices, not only as food, but exercise, and that's so important. I tried in the summer at least to get out and ride my bike or walk or do some Tai Chi, do some stress management types thing. And everybody should probably want to do those kind of things, not only to extend your life, but to calm you down. Doing exercises helps to promote good things for you, your cardiovascular system. We got to quit being couch potatoes. We got to get up and move. And I like that terminology. I go to the veterans, I participate in a lot of veterans activities. The main thing they say is we got to get up. We can't just keep sitting for hours and hours. It helps not only with your mind to move, but also with your cardiovascular system, and you're getting some good air, and it helps your heart.
And we're not talking about you have to go out and invest tens of thousands of dollars.
Just
this
start
is
walking.
You get started with family members. You can bring the kids out. You can get with your neighbors. Pick a time, pick a date. We know there's strength in numbers. There's security in numbers. You guys can walk in a group. We have some that become joggers.
Right.
We have some who, like you were saying, doing calisthenics and things of that sort. Just stretching is a big deal because a lot of folks tend to cramp and pull muscles if they're in that sedentary state. So we want to just make sure that folks are aware that being active is getting warm again, so we can take on and enjoy and be outdoors safely. You can still wear your masks, still be 6 feet apart, socially distanced, but you can find ways to be active if you really want to. And bike riding is another, because you definitely don't have to be right up on each other when you're riding as you would if you're walking.
In fact, we have, I was participating in this wonderful bike ride at the Eastern Market, and it was thousands of us riding all over the east side. Sometimes we went to the west side, but that's a good activity. I mean, you with a lot of people. I'm not sure how that will happen after this pandemic, but I myself, I always ride or I play tennis. So you have to try to keep yourself moving. And I saw a woman on TV, 78 years old, power lifter, and had just won a tournament. So can you imagine that at 78, a black woman, power lifter? It'll be like that grandma. I don't know if you saw that. They had something on the news. This man had snatched this woman's purse, and she was a grandma. She had her sneakers on.
Ran and tackled the guy.
And she ran and tackled that man around his head, and she got her purse back. So don't underestimate people, I say,
Yes. And that's definitely what you want to do, is because right now when I think of, there are so many bells ringing in my head about different ideas. That is the biggest one, is that I want folks to re-engage. We were stuck in houses, and even when I was at the first series of vaccinations, you saw seniors who hadn't seen each other
a long time,
and many hadn't seen people, period, in months, because no one would come to visit because they didn't want to infect someone or make someone susceptible to it. So to be able to come out and see that kind of livelihood and interaction, I thought was great. Councilmember Jackson, I want to thank you so much for getting up this morning and sharing your thoughts, your memories, and your vision for the city of Highland Park. And I want you to tune in next week as we do this every Monday morning between the hours of 8 and 9, where we do exactly what the title says. We highlight Highland Park. And if you have someone that you would like to be on the show or have a topic you would like for us to discuss, you can reach me. You can email me at rliggons, that's RLIGGONS, at highlandparkmi.gov. Have a great week, and be sure to keep highlighting Highland Park. Take care.